So a little old lady sold pretzels on the corner for 50 cents. And every day a young lawyer would walk out of his office building for lunch. He'd go by, he'd pass the pretzel stand, and he'd leave 2 quarters. However, he never took a pretzel. Now this went on for nearly 5 years. And even though they never spoke, every day he'd leave his 50 cents. They'd make a little eye contact, and she would nod her gratitude as he walked away without a pretzel. And then finally, one day, as the lawyer passed her stand and laid down his 2 quarters, the pretzel woman spoke to him and said, "Sir, I appreciate your business. You're my best customer. But you need to know something. The price of the pretzels is going up 75 cents." What's up, man? What's up, everyone? This is Courtney with Estate Pro Service, the Life and Transitions Expert Podcast. We're going to do something a little different here today. Usually, I'm here sharing some tip or strategy or going over some aspect of either estate planning or the probate process or how you can find quick and easy solutions to your property challenges. But today, I want to just take a step back and talk about a topic that's really dear and important to me. That shit is important also to folks who are often going through transitions in their life. Often transitions by their very nature can evoke stress. And whether that's the challenging negative stress or the positive you stress, it's still stress. And so being able to deal with that is definitely one of skills you need to have in life. And one of those tools or strategies to do that is by practicing gratitude. Gratitude is such a powerful, I want to call it a strategy almost, but way of life. And we're just going to look real briefly at what or why gratitude is so powerful when it comes to addressing and approaching life. One of my favorite books, I read it, really read it every day, at least one chapter every day. I've read it at least 100 times now. And that is probably not a lie, is The Science of Getting Rich. And in chapter 7, Wallace Waddle says the whole process of mental adjustment and atonement can be summed up in one word: gratitude. Gratitude keeps us close to our source of power. It keeps you close to your strength. And it's not just some hokey dokey positive thinking. There's definitely science directly related to the power of gratitude. This comes directly from positivepsychology.com. And the positive psychology field is a wonderful, amazing field that is showing what are the positive or what are the effects of gratitude. And really this is a great resource. And we look at it from three stances: the psychological, the physical, and the social benefits. Psychological positive emotions and attitudes can help you feel better. Neurons that wire together or fire together wire together. So when you are approaching something, when I'm seeing and seeking gratitude, it helps me maintain a positive attitude. It enhances my mood and it increases my ability to be satisfied. And the more I do that, the easier it becomes for me to be able to do that because I've created that pathway in my brain. Physically, we feel better. There are studies and research shows that your sleep cycles is better, your blood flow is better. It can help you. This says here, lessen body aches and pains, and those are obviously benefits to you physically. And of course, when you're interacting with other folks, it can help you be more empathetic, help you communicate more. And they're also shown studies show that when you are in a positive or grateful space, your ability to problem solve or see different solutions or different options to problems greatly increases. So this helps you psychologically, physically, and connecting others socially. Again, gratitude in the brain. There's amazing work out there on what happens with the dopamine levels and the serotonin levels that you can help cultivate a great feeling. You can engineer your own body to be able to do this. And of course, there are. This is by and large, and I'm not a scientist, and I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist, and I know there are people who suffer from depression and have different um, chemical balances in their brains that cause different things to take place and may make it be more challenging to get to this level. But it's awesome that with the neuroplasticity, with how way our brains are set up, that with some conscious practice, discipline, we can develop and enhance our ability to develop these chemicals that's going to help us feel better. And it helps us again restructuring the way our brain works so that we can actually have a habit of feeling grateful and positive. Another thing, again, we just like pointing this out here. These are just great graphs that just break it down easier for me. But being able to express gratitude helps you in social settings, as it shows here, helps you connect, it helps you build stronger bonds and have better group dynamics and communication. So let's think about few techniques or strategies that help us cultivate gratitude. One thing is keeping a gratitude journal at the beginning of the day or the end of the day or sometime in the day, finding, searching for, cultivating, looking for those things that you can be grateful for. Keeping a gratitude journal where that's all that you have there is the things that you're grateful for will help you see and find and seek gratitude more. What we tend to look is what we tend to get. And from my understanding, because of evolution, our brains are always on. Conscious, maybe not, but our subconscious is always on, detecting for the environment to make sure everything is safe. So we have already a proclivity, or whatever the word is, to look towards for negative things because we want to stay alive. That's awesome. But the stage that we are at in human evolution, a lot of us are blessed to be in a space where we are generally safe, but that part of our brain still hasn't turned off. So we can again engineer and practice seeing things to be grateful for. Just like when you go out to buy a car, you go out to buy that red Dodge Challenger. Next thing you know, all you see is red Dodge Challengers. When you go out and look for things to be grateful for, the more things you will be able to see and the more things you'll be able to find to be grateful for, and the more you're going to be able to benefit from being grateful and all the great uh, things that come with being grateful. Another thing is we cultivate a positive environment, surround yourself with positivity, whether that's affirmations or whether you're turning your car, everybody's car, everyone could have a PhD in whatever field of study they want to have just by turning their music off in the car and turning on some books or some podcasts or things that are filling their brain with positive messages. So being able to, and also being around people who are positive. I find that there are some folks that I love, even people in my family. I love them, but there's only a certain amount of time that I can spend with them because a lot of times the conversation goes to politics and it's not constructive politics, goes to bickering and things of that nature. And bless them, but I know, hey, I need to pull myself out of there because I don't want to be pulled into it or start engaging in this as well. And it's easy to slip in there because, hey, this is how we're talking. Let's go ahead and just be in that space. So surrounding yourself, cultivate a positive environment will help you remain positive and be grateful. This is a great Dr. Michael Beckwith, the minister and author, has a great three-step approach. And I heard this actually from Bob Proctor, RIP Bob Proctor. But it says because things do happen, and I'm not saying be a poly and I don't know the name of the person, somebody who's just so positive that they're not seeing the reality for what it is, or being so positive that they're dismissive of their own feelings or other people. I'm not saying that. That is not what I'm saying at all. But you do have an opportunity to develop a ability to respond to situations as opposed to react. Viktor Frankl, the famous psychiatrist who was also he survived the Holocaust. And one of his most beautiful quotes or things that he said is, in between stimulus and response lies a space. And in that space lies your ability to choose. And in that space and in that choice lies your freedom. So being able to, regardless of what happens on the exterior of your life, knowing that inside that you get to choose how to respond to the situation gives so much power. It doesn't make it easier. It doesn't make it easy, but it does make it more healthy way of going through life and a more informed way of going through life. And yeah, so I love this three-step approach here. Anytime something happens, especially situations you can't control, first step is, Dr. Michael Beckwith says, say it is what it is, accept it. You can't change it. It'll either control you or you will remain in control. You can't, so if you can't change it, just accept it. It is what it is. Number two, look for and harvest the good. There's good everywhere. Practicing Looking for gratitude, you'll be able to find that good even more. And then number three, forgive all the rest and move on. Being in a funky state or in a state of frustration does not necessarily help you when you are trying to address or tackle these issues. So being able to do that three step helps you gain control or remain control over your own soul, your own self, your own spirit. So yeah, I think it's a beautiful thing to be able to practice gratitude, practicing it every day as if it's a habit, as if it's a strategy for stronger and greater living is so essential. And just wanted to share my thoughts on that. So know this is a different podcast than I usually make. And if you do have questions about property, probate, estate planning, feel free to reach out. I still would love to address it. No, I'm not an attorney. No, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just sharing my experience with folks as I go through this in this world. And this is one of my experiences. I've really am so appreciative of learning the power of being able to see to be grateful. I mean, shoot, I'm alive. I don't know how any of this even happens. Like, I wake up every day. This whole existence thing. What is this all about? Like, what? This is pretty cool, pretty wild. I'm so glad that I don't have to tell my heart to beat. You know what I'm saying? I can just thank God that hey, God has it taken care of, and whether you're spiritual or believe in God or not, it's a beautiful thing, in my opinion, to be able to and do that again and again and again. So just want to share that. Shout out. I would love for you to hit a like, subscribe, especially if you like this. If you didn't like it, it's all gravy. I'm grateful for you for watching, and we'll catch you next time. This is Life in Transitions Experts Podcast. Let your light shine.